Here we are again, folks. I can't find any other of the usual suspects out in the sky, meaning UFOs, paranormal, so I'm gonna concentrate on the moon again. Now it's a little more than a half moon tonight. It's about 60% out of 100. You know, why does this look different from what my eye is seeing? Because I'm beginning to think the moon isn't what we expect it to be, what we've been told it is. Now, I've never been in a spaceship or visited there, so I don't really know. And I know what I've been taught. I've always been fascinated about the moon. I had a telescope when I was a kid, and man, it looked like I could touch the moon. It was like so close. I could see the craters. It was a big ass telescope. And I would love to get another one, but they won't allow me to go on the roof of my building anymore. When they did up to about 9/11, remember that? Yeah. So, what you're seeing here on the screen, what I'm seeing, you see the energy around it, but you see this orange ring around it. It's like a dark orange or kind of a rust color. Forget that green ball, that's the camera light, of course. I should have shut it off, it's really annoying, but it's too late now. But I'm gonna tap on my light meter and see if it changes. The moon. Huh. You think? Changed again. Now, just like those UFOs, those paranormals I've been filming in the sky, the green light's flashing outward. Is it giving a signal to this thing in the sky that we call the moon? Now look at it now. Much bigger, and got a tiny bit smaller. Now there's a green ring around it. Okay, now must have heard me. Just got bigger as I was saying that. And let's see if it changes again. Huh, you think? Where's the craters? Now I am pointed directly at the moon, nowhere else. I press the light meter, it shrinks. There we go, there we go. Now look at the top part of the sphere. It looks friggin' transparent. Well, what you just saw, it disappeared, but you're now seeing it in a green transparency. And all these people will argue, oh man, you're not a scientist, you're not an astronaut, you don't work for NASA. Well, you know that old story that we didn't go to the moon and Stanley Kubrick filmed it on a soundstage. Now I have met some people from NASA. I went to that UFO conference. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Just tapped in the light meter. That is what I'm seeing ahead of me. Outside the camera lens is the moon. You've been told this looks like a giant eye. giant onion. Looks nothing like it. Okay, it's a half, 3/4 moon tonight. Why doesn't this look the same, folks? You have to ask yourself. And they're telling us all these stories about the moon, and there's, the sea, there's like water on there, and there's some kind of seas, or there was a civilization possibly there. All beginning to question it, especially what I'm seeing tonight. And you might think, oh, you're just filling up space, you're just filling up a video, because you haven't seen paranormals and UFOs for so long. Look at that. It's just changing. It seems to know what I'm talking about. Right, Mr. Moon? Can you hear me? Can you acknowledge? Well, that's smaller. And look at the spinning energy here. Watch, I'll tap on the light meter again. Wow. Look at, it's like a blue light on the bottom. Well, I do have this in some of my other videos. This is like a psychotic energy. And very jittery tonight. Not my hands, they're pretty steady. The moon, very jittery. Maybe it's I'm finding out the truth. It's getting nervous. I don't know. Now, I listen to this guy, you might have heard of him, he goes by the name on YouTube of the Fullerton Informer, Fullerton, California. Joe Embriano, I believe his name is. Really cool guy. I don't know where I first know him from, maybe Alex Jones or Jeff Rentz, one of these kind of conspiracy-laden sites, or I just found him from web surfing on YouTube. Well, just in his video he posted today, you might want to check it out, something to the effect of this isn't what they've taught us, what they're telling us is all a lie, something to that effect. And I totally agree with him. He was talking about school and the schools, the brainwashing, the chemtrails, all the authority we are forced to partake in, our stupid parents send us in without really considering what we want. We certainly don't want school if you're halfway intelligent, because it's really not about learning. Specialized study on your own, that's a whole different story. But that's just my opinion, and that's Joe Embriano's opinion. So he was talking about the moon, and he thinks it's just like this flexible plasma. And I just posted a video short on the moon last night, and it was pretty wild. And I got some of the same stuff and more tonight. And okay, you see a kind of orangish, peachish color. Man, what is wrong with my pronunciation tonight? In the middle. And I have personally witnessed super bright yellow moon, a white one, a orange one, which is pretty wild, which would explain the center of this so-called moon. But what my eyes are seeing outside the camera lens is a yellow moon. I see a little bit of yellow in that, but I see orange, green, and blue. Now, there is an energy around the moon, there's no doubt about it. I was told also that it's a hologram. I do know this, folks. It does have a strange kind of dark power over it. I've seen, witness, going to nightclubs in my 20s, some pretty bad goings on when there was a full moon, fights and all kinds of stuff. And I don't want to get into detail or get anyone freaked, but a lot of sinister stuff happens, especially on a full moon. Now tonight is, like I said, it's about 60% out of 100. And look at the bottom of it. Almost looks like kind of like a insect's mouth, like two little feelers, pinchers. There you go. You see it? See it? Now, how could it break up like that when it's supposed to be in a circle, the energy? And I have seen this before, and I wondered about it. I'm wondering about the whole Mr. Moon. You got to start explaining yourself, brother. Whoa. Whoa, did you see that? Did you see that, folks? It went across, and there's like a yellow eclipse, like a half of it. Now I don't really see it, but for a moment there, like a half a minute ago, you're seeing it. And you can, since this is on video, you can stop and pause and rewind and look at it again. Also, it gets bigger and smaller in scope. The energy's spinning around crazy. And it's not flat, it has some depth to it, because the circle in the middle is closest to me, and the other circle, the outer circle, is far away. Hey, that's just the moon. Well, hey, where are the craters? I got the zoom in all the way. Alright. What happened there? Look at that. I did that. I tried to expand the screen with my fingers. Alright, here we go. Got bigger again. Can you get bigger? Whoa. Now there's all other kinds of theories that the Earth is flat, or it's a like a disc. This is what Joe thinks. It's a disc, and there's a South Pole wall of ice, and behind that ice, he thinks there's all these hidden continents. Whoa! What do you think about that, Mr. Moon? Hidden continents that the people really running this world keep from us. And it's very possible. I believe the 7 continents. North America, South America, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, Europe. Continents of that big land mass. Well, what would Tasmania be? What's that other one? Madagascar be? Yeah, that one's close to Africa. just like the early explorers who were adventurers, like the Vikings or Marco Polo or, you know, Spain. To seek out new worlds and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Yeah. And they were afraid they were going to fall off the flat earth. Well, I don't think so. This gravity keeps us on, whether it's flat or round. But this whole thing about the Earth revolves and it's on an axis, that's pure bullshit. First of all, who would know that? Oh yeah. That's the other thing. I had my own globe at home, and of course the globe is tilted, it's on an axis, so it makes you start to think. They even want to do all our thinking for us. Well, you don't do all your thinking for me, pal. I think for myself. I've thought for myself for years. I've actually thought for myself my whole life. It's just these so-called authorities. I didn't catch that plane. It was going right above the moon. And it didn't come out in the shot. So it's pretty big here. Shrunk when I tapped on the light. Now I'm gonna tap it again. It's gonna get really huge. Okay. Take up my whole screen. Almost. I mean, it's almost like me talking to that alien in the sky. Yes, I am tapping on my light meter, and I can say, hey, it just responds to light. The light coming out on my end, facing towards it. Tapped on the light. You got a double moon. I mean, this thing, it's more and more like Hollywood. It's like an illusion. You know, they said the early filmmakers were, Francis Coppola said they were magicians. That's what they've been pulling on us for years. Their magic, their witchcraft. For any of you who don't know, I might have mentioned this before. Holly in Hollywood is from the holly tree, which is the sacred tree of the Druids. They were tree worshippers. They were British, but they're also Celtic, my people, way back when. You know, almost the time Rome conquered England. Well, they had some fierce battles, and the Druids were tough, but Rome at the time was a powerhouse, an empire of evil. Not every, decade, but a lot. They just abuse their power, just like anyone who thinks they're the greatest civilization on Earth. Is going to have an ego. They're going to get a little drunk with power. It's just kind of like human nature. Look at that. Yeah. Are you transparent, Mr. Moon? Whoa, look at that. You see it coming in from the left? Look at it change. See the half of it on the left? It's yellow and it's white. It almost looks like the yin and yang symbol. Oh my God. Well, you'd have to, it almost looks the same. Is that what the ancients were talking about? Confucius? See it on the right now? It almost looks like the yin and yang symbol. For all I know, it's where I got it from. They looked at the moon all the time. They had nothing else to do, gather food, party, and do the same thing the next day. They didn't have to work, just the work that for survival and to have fun. Once they got enough food Well, I don't think I'd want to live in those times. Oh, look at it again, the yin and yang. I mean, I've never seen this till tonight. All right, well, it's a beautiful night out here. Nice breeze. Let's see it again. Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm tapping on the light meter several times, but what could cause the sphere we know as the moon, that ball of plasma, whatever it's made out of? So, you know, I won't get into whether I believe we went to the moon or not. We might have. I talked to a guy from NASA. He said, I can assure you it was real. But of course, he worked for them. He's going to say that. He said that in the UFO conference. He heard me talking conspiracy with this lady. We were sitting in the back seat. Two guys were up front. And one of them worked for NASA. And he corrected me. And I said, oh, okay. I'm just telling you what I've heard. I didn't even say I believe it, you know. Yeah, I bought a baseball hat for me. So, a lot to think about, folks. All I know is do question, do look into it more yourself. You can run Google searches on it, YouTube searches, BitChute, Odyssey, any of the, I don't know, big sites now that aren't censored as much as YouTube. And there's others, I know there's brand new tube, there's a slew of them. Well, this has been a real cool video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly like looking into things deeply. Look at that, look at that. I'm tapping on the light meter, it's getting bigger. Okay, folks, strange sights in the sky. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.